Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing you another hopefully exciting video. So what I wanted to do today is take a lead up video and just talk about Spawn before he comes out on March 17th for Mortal Kombat 11. I wanted to go into the possibilities that the character has and what he can utilize and how he can be different from how he appeared in games in the past. The first thing I want to get started on is we already know the character's design, how he's going to look based on the figure by Todd McFarlane and McFarlane Toys that was released that I showed in my other video. But we know that now he's got his cape and he also has a sword. So one of the first things I want to talk about is alternates. And if he can get a couple alternates, that'd be cool. I'm expecting maybe one, but there are a couple different possibilities that I would like to go for. Spawn has had like a huge amount of costumes in the past, and I'm sure we can edit each part the same way we can with the rest of the Mortal Kombat cast. But some things I would like to see homages to, or just a straight up alternate for him, is Redeemer for first one, or Anti-Spawn as he's also known. That's how he showed up in the beginning of the books, but he became known as Redeemer later on. I think he's got a cool character design. He is an antithesis to Spawn, so it would be a great costume choice for him to have, and it shouldn't be too hard to model in, factoring that it's pretty similar in design and tone, and his body type is pretty similar to Al Simmons. The second one that I would like to see would be Medieval Spawn. Again, this goes back to the same points I had for Redeemer. It would be just like a reskin or a recolor, even if we had like an homage with different color palettes like the blue and the silver. That would, I guess, make me happy enough. But I would like to see like him, because he's got a cool design, especially like the helmet and the sharp edges and the way the armor looks. And he also similarly actually uses a sword, so it wouldn't be that hard to actually give a different skin to one of his swords to make it a Medieval Spawn sword. That would be great. The last one I would probably like to see would be, that's a straight up all costume thing, would probably be Omega Spawn, which is when he like took over as Dragon Ball calls it, Home Frame for Losers. So in that, when he took over Hell and he fought Malboja and he just defeated him, he took on the persona of Omega Spawn and pretty much decided to wipe the entire slate clean of the Image Comics universe. Like, we're talking the Darkness, Witchblade, everyone just got like wiped out. He's like really powerful in that form, and I actually like the costume design. He looks more of like a Venom-esque like symbiote style in that form, and just the way his teeth show and everything, I just think it would be a cool costume. But going to the next point, I really want to talk about the amount of moves that he can use and what styles he can use. So we all know the basic Spawn stuff, like he uses guns, he uses chains, he uses his cape. Actually, it's not technically his cape, that's how it showed up in the movie, but it's technically the entire symbiote is alive, because his costume is a living symbiote. Just like Venom or Carnage or whatever. So the whole costume can actually be transformed. He can even use spikes out of his costume. He can morph it to how he wants. He can even change his, wrap himself in and change his physical appearance, as we've seen in like the first couple issues of Spawn where he tried to go see Wanda and Cyan. So he can even have like a transformative property. He can have some kind of thing where, like a Shang Tsung-esque thing where he turns into the other character, does one of their moves, turns back. That's completely plausible. Using spikes, obviously. Using his plasma energy blasts, the green blasts. I would like to see him using guns for some of the things. Like, we've seen it happen before. He could pull out like an Uzi or pull out like one of his energy blast guns or whatever. I'm not expecting him to go full throttle into like using every style that he can possibly use. But it would be nice to see them change it up a little bit, because we got a little bored when it came to Soul Calibur, when he was in Soul Calibur 2, because of the limitations of the engine. Obviously, his cape had transformed into his Axe Agony, but we didn't see him using his chains. We didn't see him using any of the transformative properties or the symbiotic nature of his costume itself. Basically, the most intense part of that we got was like his plasma blast. He had like a plasma blast, which was like back, square, and triangle, and then if you did I think it was triangle and circle to go up into the air, and then square and triangle, he would do an energy blast down. But that's like as function as we got from that costume stuff. Like, the rest was all just like using the axe. I do think that we're going to get a lot closer to an actual original comic book version of Spawn in this game. and that's why I'm looking more forward to playing as this than I was any other version of the character up until this point, including his like solo games like Armageddon and stuff like that, and the SNES one. But I just I'm really excited to tap into like what potential the character has, and people are going to be using different styles and different moves for his character, so I hope that we can actually have like versions where we see him just using his cape or just using his chains or a mixture of the two, or throwing guns in there. I'm guessing if they do guns, the easiest way to do guns would probably be a command grab, but there's other ways they can implement that as well. There's just a few things that like I would love to see from this character, and I want your thoughts too. So leading up to Spawn, what do you guys want to see from the character? I really want to know in the comment section down below. Whoever leaves a comment, and they're a good comment, I'm going to actually feature this in another video, probably on Friday, about what the community would like to see from the character of Spawn before we get him. Look forward to my videos this weekend from Kefla being in Dragon Ball FighterZ, but for right now, I'm going to leave the question back up to you guys in the comment section down below, and as always, peace.